Good afternoon, Jack Environment Tech here at the Southwest Railroad with a Timonium chainsaw haul. Even though it was a few days ago, today's Thursday, mischief night. Well, no mischief on this day for me, at least. But before I get into the haul, I just wanted to kind of give a recap of what happened that weekend. So I went down there on Friday night. Saturday morning, about 7 of us got together for breakfast at the Naughtiest Diner. So it was me, Joe Rader, Jack, Grandpa Rails, Thomas Grassi and his girlfriend Barbara, and Anthony from Georgia Sunbelt. From there, we went to the train show, spent a few hours, had a meet and greet. Few of us around 2 o'clock went to Joe Rader's house, checked out the Black Rock Central. Beautiful layout. First time visiting for me. After that, a few of us went back to Ray's house for dinner and to view his layout and dinner and have a good time. Sunday morning or afternoon, it was noon, we went down to the Baltimore Streetcar Museum. Took 2 quick rides on, well actually it was 3. They had 2 trolleys, so we went on a ride on an open air car trolley, and then we took a ride on a PCC. We took 2 trips on that and had a shop tour of the museum. It was some pretty cool pieces they had at the museum. And for the most part, during and after the museum, we kind of stood around for a couple minutes, hours, actually a few hours really, talked before we kind of all parted our own ways, and that was the end of the meet and greet. So I'm going to shut up and I'm going to show you some of the stuff that I picked up for the meet and greet and a few giveaways and whatnot, knickknacks that I picked up along the way. Okay, let me shut up and we get to it. So before I jump right back into the haul, so when we went to the Baltimore Streetcar Museum, this here is the exact replica of the PCC that we rode on. Like I said, we rode this twice. We rode this after the open air trolley, and then we did the shop tour, then we did a final trip on it. But this is a PCC from Philadelphia, owned by Scepter. And back when these were running, well, they are still running, but back when they was running, continuously, and a lot of routes had these, they came in multiple colors. So this was known as a Gulf oil. Now, I don't really know the story behind it. I'm assuming it had something to do with oil, or maybe the oil crisis at that period. But that was a nickname for it. Like I said, we had quite a few different colors. Now, I have 3 of these. I didn't really get these for the purpose of running on the layout. I actually I wanted to build up a diorama, and I wanted to use them on the diorama. So this one actually has sound and DCC, and the other 2 I don't, because like I said, I really didn't get these for the layout, and they was really for the purpose of memorabilia purposes and for the display whenever I get this diorama finished. So that's one that I have. And so this was the before Scepter became Scepter, it was PTC, Philadelphia Transportation Company, and this was the livery that it came in. And so currently we do have trolleys in Philadelphia running. Now, from what I was told, I might be wrong, it might be updated, we have 15 or 8 of them in service. They just came back in service about a year ago because they was in a being overhauled, and I think that took like 2 years or something to overhaul. So these you can still find running today in Philadelphia. I mean, they modified, so the roof line is different because it has an air conditioning unit and some other stuff. Like I said, been overhauled. It has different trucks. I never actually been on the inside, so I don't know how different the interior is compared to the original. So that was the other one I have. And here's the third one. So I remember as a kid, these came out in the for the bicentennial year, and it was 13 of these. So these represented the 13 original colonies, and each one of them was painted for each state of the original colonies. So this particular one is for the state of Pennsylvania. I love these out of all the paint schemes because it was the most flashiest, and Since it was only 13, it was kind of hard to catch. You know, you had to know what line they was on and where they was at any given time. But to me, as a kid, they was the flashiest ones, so they got my attention more so. But like I said, we probably had maybe a good 7, 8 different paint themes. So these 3 was just 3 of what we actually had during the time when he was running. So let me pause there, and I'm going to jump right into the haul for Saturday. So up first for Saturday haul. So when I arrived, well, before I went, I was looking for 2 items. Number one, I was looking for a blue box GE locomotive that had the B trucks on it because I wanted to swap those trucks on one of the F7 projects that I was working on. And I've been to another show and I couldn't find those, and I finally got lucky and found one. So for the most part, I'm just swapping out the trucks on these. I just want the trucks, like I said, it's for another project. The guy, the sticker on it was 35, and he was telling me it was from some kind of storage unit haul that he done, and he just wanted to get rid of it. So gave it to me for $5. It has a motor in it, and it looks like it never been ran. But like I said, I'm basically got it for the purpose of the trucks, and I probably just use the parts and something else, or I'll just probably maybe update this and put it in service at some point. But for now, it's just mainly the trucks that I need off of this. So, found one other item that I wasn't even looking for. This also is a blue box. But this is an ST9, undecorated. It's a dummy unit. And when I saw this, I said, man, this looked like a perfect detail project. So for now, I have no idea what railroad I'm going to detail it in, or what kind of details I'm going to put on it, or whether it's going to continue to be a dummy, or whether I'm going to put a motor in it and put DCC or any of that stuff. Haven't really came to the conclusion yet, but it definitely will be a detailing project for the future. So stay tuned on that. And you know, as of now, I got too many projects lined up, so this won't be in the works for a little while, but I'll keep you posted on it. All right. Something else I wasn't looking for. Broadway Limited baggage coach. This is part of the Daylight series. I don't have one of these, but I do have 3 sets of the articulated units. So this will work perfect with it. Picked this up for $30. It was brand new. So, I mean, for what they ran when they were brand new, when they first came out, I guess it was somewhat of a bargain. But wasn't looking for it, but I was happy to find it. And like I said, it'll be on the layout, and I'll run it with the rest of them. And down here, I got a sticker from Ann from the Chattanooga Southern Railroad. He came out Saturday for the meet and greet. He also came to Joe's house and Ray's house. He didn't come out to the museum with us on Sunday, but it was great meeting him. And Ray finally gave us one of his stickers. So on my wall stickers, I think these 2 pretty much will do the job, so I'm going to have to start a new one. So that was my Saturday haul, but let me pause and I'll pull up some stuff that I got at Joe's and some other stuff that came about for Saturday. So after I went over to Joe Rader's house, so Joe Rader has a thing where when you come visit his layout, he lets you leave with a boxcar, cut one of his boxcars. So he had a few laid on the table, and he told us, you know, he had a book for us to sign. You sign the book. He said, pick out the one you want. And I figured this was well suitable for my layout. So I appreciated Joe, man. It looks awesome. So this is going to be one of those box cars because I remember he and Sparky had a conversation about he was running his new turbo train. He said, "Oh, this will never leave a layout." And I said, "Oh, I have about 2 pieces of equipment that never left my layout." So for the most part, this will stay on it. I'm not going to say it'll never leave a layout, but it'll stay on a layout. Like a few other pieces I have that just never left the layout since it's been bought. But I love this, Joe. I appreciate it, and it was really great seeing your layout. I mean, if you haven't seen it, you got to see it. I mean, he put some serious work, and it's just, like I said, you got to see it for yourself because it's awesome. I could say so many words, but it ain't gonna mean nothing until you actually see it with your own eyes. So once again, thanks a lot, Joe. Appreciate it. And like I said, this will be on a layout, and hopefully I'll have another video and I'll show it for you. Okay, up next, Dave from DB Tech had a few items that he was giving away. He had a box full of stuff, so he had this little trolley. Now I'm sure it's DC, but I'm not gonna convert it. I like it, so this probably just will be a display piece for me. I'm not sure how, but maybe this will be one of the pieces that I put on the diorama whenever I get around to it. And so let's see, one other thing. So I don't know, I'm going to swing the camera around just a little bit. This shirt is a t-shirt. Well, I got some stuff sitting on it, but this is a Nathan Delays t-shirt that Dave from DB Tech. He said it was too small for him, it was a large, but so he didn't want it, and since I fit a large, so he gave it to me. So appreciate that, Dave, and I'm sure Nathan will be happy to see me walking around displaying it. This here came from Grandpa Rails. Me and him a few weeks or months ago he had showed these on one of his YouTube videos where he just 3D printed paint holders, and I said, "Oh, these are pretty cool. I wouldn't mind having one." He said, "Well, I'll print some out for you," and he actually did. So it's 3 of these, and I'm not advertising or promoting anything, but these are the paints that they was designed for, and these are really good paints. So they you can find these at Walmart. Probably most of the and I've seen them at Michael's too, but they usually run about 58 cents. They're acrylic paints. Really good paints. I don't know if you can airbrush them. I never attempted to airbrush, but for hand brushing and wood kits and even styrene, it works good on styrene. You might have to do a light coat or maybe sand it or whatever. But for the most part, these paints work excellent, for kit projects. So he gave me 3 of these. This is what it looks like when it's full. And ironically enough, each one of these holds 10 paints. And I counted all the paints, and I had 34. But the 4 extra paints are like actually extra colors, so it don't matter. They just sit on the side, but they came in handy. Like I said, I had just enough paints to fill all 3 of these. So once again, Grandpa Rails, I really appreciate this. Now I can stay a little organized because, trust me, these things, I'm always using them and I'm always doing stuff. So sometime if you come by the house, you might find them in the dining room, you might find them in the basement, in the train room, you'll find them upstairs. Because if I'm working, I'm wherever I feel like working, that's where I take my projects. So now I can keep everything in one spot instead of all over the house. But thanks again, JD. And I'm going to pause one more time and I'm going to show you the Sunday haul. Okay, so my Sunday haul, the number 2, or probably the number 1 hit item on my hit list was a bulk pack of KD 148s. Because unfortunately, I have a lot of African stuff, and they use the McHenry couplers, which I'm not a fan of. And I do like my 148s, the whisker types, and I'm starting to find out too, even with like some of the newer African stuff, even the number 5, the springs, don't fit in a couple of pockets anyway, so it's just, for me, it's just better off using the 148s. They have the whisker heads on them, and they fit right in the pockets with no issue. So, basically, that's the reason why I went there Sunday. I wasn't really looking to get anything else, but you know how they go. You ain't gonna walk out with just one thing. So I got to looking around, and I found this. So this is a 3-bay cover hopper, Grand Trunk Western. Story behind this, I actually had 2 of these back when I was in my teenage years. One of them I trashed because it was beat. Well, they both was beat up, but one of them was like just a little too beat up. And the other one I believe I still have in the train retirement box. So, so like I said, I did 2 of these back in the 80s when I was still in high school. And I was surprised to find that. So that's how old this is. It still had the hook horns, plastic wheels, and all that good stuff. But it's a kit form, so I'm going to weather it up real good and assemble it and put it on layout. I was kind of happy to find it. I wasn't looking for it, but that's a good thing about, browsing around the train show. You never know what you'll find. Because after I found this, like I think in the same box or right next to it was something else I wasn't looking for. A Wonder Bread hopper, cover hopper. Nice billboard hopper. Like I said, I wasn't looking for it, but it just really grabbed my attention. So I'm like, cool, so went with that. So the guy I paid, he gave me both of these for $18. So that wasn't a bad deal for the 2. So I got one finished hopper and one that has to be assembled. But no problem. I actually like kits because they're easier to weatherize anyway. And whatever I need to do or any modifications, I could do it prior to assembling them. And last but not least, found gondola loads. So I actually got 2 of these. One of them is actually on the layout now because I wanted to see how it fit inside the gondolas. So it's 2 of these. So I seen that gap and I thought maybe that these was broken, but then when I looked at a couple other ones, I noticed that these are 2 different 2 loads. So you got a long load and a short load. So I mean, you could do whatever you want to do. You can put them in 2 separate cars or 1 car. I think I pretty much the one I have downstairs. I put it. Sorry for hitting the camera, but I put both loads in 1 hopper. gondola. So that pretty much concludes my haul for the weekend. Like I said, I had a great time. I really enjoyed everybody I met. It was really good to meet Jack and Grandpa Rails in person. I've known them for a little bit, but it's always great to meet people in person. So I'm gonna conclude there. Hang tight. I might have one little surprise for you. But bye for now if I don't. And we'll see you next time.